14. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
After one half of play, it's been a one-sided affair. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Things were going Charlotte's way from the beginning. Their mission to dominate early was accomplished with a spirited 14-4 run to start. Good work for them all around as they controlled the tempo, leading by 14 at the end of one. Then in quarter number 2, they actually increased their intensity to pull further out in front, finishing with a double-digit advantage at the half. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
Well, shooters were popping open right and left. Exceptional ball movement. Guys racing off screens, spotting up, knocking down shots. That's the way you play basketball unselfishly, and it was superb, and they exploited all the weaknesses of the defense.
Shaq, what'd you think about Orlando?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie, giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They looked out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
Their defense has been terrific in this game. We come back right after this. In the NBA, love about Steve Clifford is his brutal honesty. He will pull no punches with you.
Yeah, reporters just can't throw cliche phrases at him during the press conferences or he'll dismantle them. The frankness he has with the media and players is one reason players like playing for him.
That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long and good night, everyone. Close one so far. Knicks lead by 2. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It's an interesting battle going on tonight. Ernie Johnson here with you folks alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. You are watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. For the Pacers, the first quarter was pretty even. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. There were a lot of positives for them to take away from the second quarter, where they came from behind to take a 4-point lead at the half. And Kenny, what'd you think about what we saw from Indiana?
Well, they've gotten to the line tonight a lot. Basically, they're saying, I'm going to take it to you, and the only way you can stop me is to foul me. But here's the thing. If you're afraid to sacrifice your body, you'll never pick up a lot of free throws. So great job in the first half.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Reminds me of Kenny's suit selection. Has been very, very sloppy. Way too many turnovers. They look unorganized, out of control. It's not pretty basketball. The good news, though, they're still in a great position to win the game if they just cut down the turnovers.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
Pacers lead by 3. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Indianapolis. They're down by 8. There's 53 seconds left to play here in the fourth. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Miles Turner.
And his shooting percentage reflects just how efficient he's been. It's better than 50%, always a sign of a solid offensive performance. But his movement and his shot selection have also both been tremendous.
He's played up to his full potential tonight. That'll do it for now. He's been playing for Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you later.
High speed and reach really annoy shooters.
At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. 76ers lead by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel. That's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. For the 76ers, the first quarter was pretty even. They were able to squeeze ahead by the end of the period with just a 1-point lead. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Phoenix?
I think they let the game come to them, but they haven't got to the foul line enough, Ernie. That's an area where they're getting beat. I'd like to see them press to action a little bit more.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Cruising game inside, and it's working for him. And we'll be back with you shortly. Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Devin Booker.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. See you later.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here. Got Shaq, got Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. Some good action during the period, as it was just a one-point game at the end of one. They battled hard in the second quarter, and it was reflected on the scoreboard. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, there was one pleasant surprise, and that was the bench. They gave them a big lift. Those guys came into the game, they did all the dirty work, and they scored baskets.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, I thought the one bright spot was the effort on the glass. Several times when momentum was sliding, getting a timely rebound really lifted them. The strong work on the glass is key because that's how you string together a series of big stops.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
They trailed by a bunch, but once they got going, the comeback was on. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Timothy Mozgov.
And he's had a very good night shooting the basketball. A little over 50% from the field, and a lot of those shots have come against some tight D. That shows the level of his focus and consistency.
Gonna do it for now. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. Back to the action after this word.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. What a game it's been for Kyrie Irving. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Taking a look at the Celtics, Shaq, what do you think?
Well, Kenny knows about this. I used to do this to his team all the time. Take advantage of you down low. Mismatch. Barbecue chicken alert. Make good entry passes. That led to some good looks, obviously a lot of points. When you control the paint, Ernie, you control the game. I was the master of controlling the paint. Shaquille.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Milwaukee?
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And that will conclude our halftime presentation. We take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. Of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
Tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the halftime show on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. LeBron James had it going on in the first quarter. He had 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. What'd you think, Shaq, about Cleveland?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to that lead.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on the Bulls.
I think they're giving this game away because of their turnovers. I mean, you may not control everything that happens out there, but you do control how much you value each possession. I think coming out of the break, they need to be more efficient to close the gap in the score.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Free points at the buzzer.
How in the world did he get that one to go?
And so it's the Chicago Bulls looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back right after this. Now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Zach LaVine.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
He'd finally had enough of their losing streak, and it's going to take something special to regain some kind of momentum. And his effort has been very special tonight. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Shortly for the start of the second quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time to check out the first half of action. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 14 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Well, they're out in front tonight because of their offensive rebounding. Those second-chance buckets came into play in a big way. Those are effort points, momentum builders, salvaging points off the scrap heap. You never heard me say scrap heap before, Ernie. I don't even know what it means. It just sounded good.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Memphis.
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
In his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Joining us, that'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. One quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Warriors lead by 2. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exciting first half indeed. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny, the Jet, Smith, and Shaq, the Eel, O'Neal. DeMarcus Cousins having an outstanding game. He had 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Well, I see a team that's playing smart, moving the ball around to the open man, just taking what the defense gives them. There's a nice flow, a nice energy, a nice synergy to the game.
Shaq, how'd you think the Warriors were playing?
I really like how they limited turnovers. You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice passes. When you can play like this and cut back turnovers, it can add up to over 10, 8, 12, 15, 16 easy points, Ernie. I don't know how many points, a lot of easy points. They'll be in good shape if they can keep making the same smart plays.
And we're just about ready for the start of the third quarter. Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll see you.
By 7. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
On a high note.
Boy, that was the perfect end to the period. You have no idea how much effect those buzzer beaters can have on a team's momentum.
And so it's the Dallas Mavericks going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've done a lot of great work from long range. Back to the action.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Time for the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Dallas has the edge here at halftime. They have a 13-point lead. And, Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
I don't think anyone expected to see such numbers from the bench. You know, I'm impressed. It was what they needed, the jolt they needed, Ernie. Wow, I never knew their bench. Matter of fact, I don't even know any of their players coming off the bench. Man, keep going, bench guys.
Kenny, what was your takeaway on Denver?
I look at the lack of free throw attempts as a key indicator. Because the funny thing about getting to the charity stripe, you have to earn it. You have to put your body in harm's way and be physically willing to take the hit. Right now, one team's playing aggressively and the other team isn't. That's the big difference in the score.
And that wraps up halftime as the game is set to get back underway. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan and crew, standing by courtside.
End of the quarter, and they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly.
Huge asset in today's game. It's all about versatility, both offensively and defensively.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dennis Smith.
And he's been the man running the show for them, and boy, has he done a great job. He's up in the double digits in assists, and more than a few of those have been of the spectacular variety. For them to be successful, his passing has to be a key component, and tonight it was on display.
He doesn't take over games like this very much, but it's always possible. And when he does, here at home, these fans love it. Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone. As the quarter comes to a close, a look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. We come back right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break down all the action from the first half. It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They are leading by 12. Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, it was an unselfish, team-oriented half of basketball. The ball never stopped moving. Their offense had a great flow to it. It prevented anyone from getting lazy out there. They're always moving, cutting, knowing where they need to pass the ball.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
Well, they shot under 40% in the first half. There's your deficit. They missed some open looks, wide open. But overall, I thought the offense was stagnant. Look for their coach to draw up some specific plays to try to jumpstart them in the second half.
That's it for now as the second half's just about ready to go.
Of the quarter, and they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. Moment for our Jordan player of the game, Pau Gasol.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
He'd finally had enough of their losing streak, and it's going to take something special to regain some kind of momentum. And his effort has been very special tonight. Do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. So long and good night, everyone. Away, we'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a good game we have here after one half of play. Welcome, everybody, to the halftime show. I'm Ernie Johnson. The guy nodding over here is Kenny the Jet Smith. And the guy doing that is Shaquille O'Neal. There was no stopping Marcin Gortat in the first half. He had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 steals. Some great work from him in the first 2 quarters. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
Well, it's always a little bit of a challenge playing on the road, but they came in mentally prepared and physically prepared. The energy in the arena was fierce, but they didn't cave in.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
The thing I like was how they were making a conscious effort to work the ball inside. They should do the same in the second half. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Whether running the offense through the post, driving it, doesn't matter. Get to the rim, and the rest will take care of itself.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
By 5. And we're coming right back after this break to get the fourth quarter underway. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.